How are you?
Good, you?
Fine.
Good, excellent. It's yeah, it's a pretty surreal moment for me almost for some reason I feel.
Yes. You
Yeah.
mean because of the Corona situation, or what?
No, because like I've
No?
I've been wanting to interview someone like you or talk to someone like you for a long time on my podcast. So it's so nice.
Right. Yeah, that's true. We have not seen many years. I think it's almost 10 or 15 years ago we have seen each other.
10? No.
Yeah, I think so.
No, not 10.
When
Like
was the last time?
5 years ago.
5 years? Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah, in London, most probably about 5 years ago, I reckon.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that could be.
no, so welcome.
Uh, You're doing your broadcasts on radio station?
Yeah, so,
Locally?
yeah, I was doing this on a radio station, a local radio station here in Essex, in England. And then obviously because of Corona, I stopped doing that there, and I've just started doing it on my own again here at home. It was more like it was a yoga and wellness radio station, show that I was doing. Sorry, it was just a general radio station, and I was doing a wellness show where I played a little bit of music as well, and then I had some guests come in and and like, I interviewed them similar to now. So it's nice. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you should,
sorry.
yeah. Usually you have your station somewhere outside in your office, or you have it at home?
I'm in my home now, but the radio station was in an actual station with full radio equipment with a mixing desk and
okay.
Yeah, everything.
But you're not allowed to go there at the moment.
No, we're not allowed to go there at the moment. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just doing it from my home, and this is kind of more of a solo mission, really. So this is just independent to myself. That was associated with another company, so it's nice to start on my own and start to push these out there to my clients and to the Yoga Factory clients, which is the studio that I run here.
Okay, and with the proper equipment, you can do it from at home. You can go online.
I've got a microphone.
Yeah.
It's here.
Yeah. For the professional radio.
What, do I have any equipment?
Yeah.
Not really, no, because the radio I was on was just an internet radio, so it wasn't an FM or AM radio.
Okay.
Yeah, it was broadcasted via the internet, so it was live streamed via the internet. Then it was recorded, and then it was uploaded as well. So it was both live and recorded. Yeah.
And this is your profession now at the moment?
No, I'm teaching yoga still, and I have a yoga center here in England.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was the account that I tagged you in on Instagram.
Yes.
The Yoga Factory. That's my yoga studio here.
Okay.
In my yoga center here. So I'm teaching yoga classes still, and I'm running that center. And we've got over 35 classes a week.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Different styles of asana classes. We have lots of workshops. With different stuff, some really nice things actually, some different takes on the holistic practices than maybe the traditional yogic view. So it's nice. Yeah, it's good.
Nice, good to hear.
Yeah, nice.
But now you can't teach. You have to teach from at home.
I'm teaching via the internet. Yeah, same as yourself.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
does it work?
It's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the same, but it's good.
Yeah, you can't see the people properly. That's the thing.
Yeah, and
you don't know what they're doing.
They can just turn off their camera and they can go and have a little sleep or whatever they do,
Yes. But I trust them. I mean, for us, the good thing is because usually we are teaching yoga retreats worldwide, and we have students from all over. So usually they don't come here for yoga classes regular because they live somewhere in Switzerland or in Germany or wherever. And for us, the online tool actually is good. I was thinking before already, but I never had the push to do it. So this Corona situation made a push, and we are teaching also almost every day a class, and people join very much, so they like it.
Yeah, I'm pleased. It's definitely like the Corona has given everyone a push to do some things that maybe they've been thinking in the mind for a long time. And now it's like allowed them to go forth and do that sort of thing, you know. So
that's the positive thing. I mean, there are much more than those. You know, people try to start thinking differently now. What about the situation? And what can I do to make it better? Maybe later also. They really go into it now, and I think it's a very good thing for us. It gives us a new boost and a new thinking.
Yeah, definitely. Keshava, I want to quickly introduce you so everyone knows who you are. Okay, before we carry on speaking, because it's so nice that I can introduce you. So, Keshava was my teacher on the teacher training course I did in Rudraprayag. Can't remember what year now. I think it was 2013 or 14. I think.
There were so many going through.
Yeah, and.
I didn't count it, but I think there were over 2,000 or 3,000 students I was teaching in the teacher training course.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's very hard to remember all of them, but some, like you, I remember very well.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, taught me on the teacher training course, and you served for 16 years in the organisation. I'm correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, 16 years in the Sivananda organisation, and now you've gone on to teach yoga retreats. And yoga retreats just in Austria or in other places as well around the world?
All over the world. Actually, mostly we do it in Austria, but we are going to Turkey, or we have been also in the Dominican islands and many places. So wherever people ask, some were asking if I come to Canada, some were asking if I come to Iceland. So there's always something to do, and we try to be flexible.
Beautiful. So that's how I know Keshava. He was a former monk in the Sivananda organisation, and then I spent a little bit of time with you actually when I was in the London Centre when I was staff there. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So that was nice. But it was a big inspiration of mine. I'll never forget actually the very last long holding asana class you taught in Rudraprayag. You won't remember it anyway, but anyway, it was so divine. I'll never forget that moment. I think that asana class is imprinted in my DNA now, I think.
Yeah. Well, this is the highlight of the course, because people have done so much over these 4 weeks, and they really did a lot of sadhana, which is spiritual practice. And at the end, we have this, we always teach this long holding class, which was very special for me as well, to teach that. And this was the highlight. This was the outcome of all the exercise we did over this many weeks. And this is really the imprint now. And glad you remember.
Yeah, always. So yeah, I think today it's just lovely to sit down and just have a general chat. I mean, it's not often people get to hear someone talk with such knowledge and experience as yourself. So it's nice. Hopefully we can shed some light on some people, and we can shed some light on the current situation as well of Corona, because it's been a different, as we said, interesting and growing time for everyone.
Sure.
Thank you.
I mean, as I told before, the situation is already really special, and people are trying to think over, and there's a lot of change going on, which is, it's like there's this called this Shiva energy. When there's Shiva energy is there, then something is destroyed, that something new can come up in a very positive manner. So something has to go, that something can grow up and has to come up. It's like spring, winter is there, it destroys everything, and then spring is coming, all the blossom comes out. So the situation we have now with the coronavirus, and the thing is, just be positive, and there's a lot of change coming, and everything is on a positive way. Of course, many people die all around, but in my case anyway, they have died on other different things. And anyway, we have to die as well. But those who are strong and those who live a very good healthy lifestyle, they are not affected by it because they have a very strong immune system, and this helps a lot.
Yeah.
So what I do every day, for example, is using this neti pot. You just fill some salt in there and some lukewarm water, and then you go to the side and let the water rinse to the nose, to the nostril, and then it comes out from the other side. This actually strengthens your immune system. It brings away the mucus, which also says that in the corona situation, mucus is very bad because it goes into the lung. You can even do it with going back like this, and then you goggle, and then spit the mucus out. And also removing mucus through a tongue clean is very important. You just scrap your tongue, and then the mucus, what you have in the morning especially, goes out. This white thing is mucus or plaque, and usually you have it between your teeth. You start to clean your teeth, but nobody knows that the tongue, cleaning the tongue is very important as well. So these are preparations already to get rid of the mucus and have a better immune system.
Yeah, and is there any other like kind of simple practices that you could advise people that they can do on a daily basis? Maybe like other than pranayama and asana, is there something else? Any other kriyas?
Well, many people they have stiff necks because they're so tense and they have their shoulders right up. For this, I would suggest very simple exercise like neck exercise. You can bring your head to the side like this, maybe 6 times together with breathing. Inhale and exhale like this. You can even close your eyes, even better. Or bring the head in front and back, or bring to the side, which is very good actually. Or roll your head always to the side. Never twist your head in this exercise, just always roll. And I found out a very good exercise now is holding the shoulders and inhale, and as you exhale, you twist to the right. Inhale left as much as possible. Exhale right. Inhale left. And also this you can do for 7 times. You can feel how it gets rid of back pain. Can you feel it?
Yeah, that's nice. I like that a lot.
And then there's another one. I have to bring the camera a little bit lower. You hold your elbows around your belly like this. Okay? Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale to the left. Exhale, right. Inhale, left. And again, this you do for 7 times. And if you do this every day, maybe once or twice a day, then you feel that your back problems, your back pain is much better. And you know, first exercise for the neck, second exercise for the back. And then there's another one which is very nice also. You just interlock your fingers on your neck, and then you bring your elbows up as much as possible. And bring the chest up. You lengthen your spine and bring it as high as possible. And then release again. You can try this also for several times.
I like them.
It's a very simple exercise, you know, which everybody can do. You even can do it in the office when you work a lot on the computer, or especially now when you're at home, maybe you look even more on the computer or on the television, or maybe in the mobile phone. And you know, looking in the mobile phone, looking down creates a lot of pain in the neck. So actually one should always have the mobile phone straight ahead, because the more you bend your head, the more weight you have to carry, and the more neck problems will come.
Yeah. And shorter supply of oxygen as well, right, to the brain when the neck's like this.
I didn't get it.
the supply of oxygen to the brain is reduced, isn't it, when
Yeah.
the neck is like this? So it's very important to have the
Yes.
head straight.
Yes. Not only this, also if people sit like, you know, with a crouched back, the belly is very compressed and the diaphragm cannot move, and then there's a lack of oxygen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, beautiful. That's lovely exercise. I'm going to use that actually. I like that.
It's very nice actually. You know, now, especially in the beginners class, or people, they work a lot, and every class we try to integrate this exercise at the beginning because it's very helpful, and we give them something they can do regularly at home, and they can do it almost everywhere, in the plane, in the train, in the car, wherever. You know, you can just do it.
Yeah, for sure. So, Keshava, it'd be really nice if maybe you could highlight to the listeners how you fell into the path of yoga, because it's a beautiful story that you have, a beautiful journey. How did your journey come about initially?
Well, I was grown up in Austria, in Salzburg, you know, the city of Mozart, which is a beautiful city. And I had a beautiful life because I was growing up in the countryside. The big family, we were seven children, 2 parents of 9 members in the family. It was a huge family, and we always had something going on in our home. There were always things going on. And I was very often going into the forest for seclusion, and had my time for recover. I didn't spend too much with people around. I just had a few friends, not very much, and these friends they were very special to me. And but I was not interested in mixing too much with too much people. So then I started architecture, and went to Vienna, and I was working very hard. And, you know, my chef, my boss, he was really trying to get everything out of us, and we had to work in the evening, and I was working sometimes until 10, 11 o'clock. And then finally I got the burnout because I was working so much, and I was thinking, okay, what do you want to do half from life? And I had a house, I had a car, beautiful car, I had a beautiful television, like a very expensive, and everything. I had designer furniture in my house, and you know, everything just from outside. And I found out it didn't make me happy. I spent a lot of money, but it didn't make me happy. Then I was going into sports. I did a lot of sport, running and mountain biking, really excessive, morning, evening, even during the day, constantly on movements. And then a friend from us, she's a psychologist, she said, "What are you running away from?" And I was thinking, what does she mean? You know? Finally, I because of this situation, I also went into depression and burnout. It's a very sincere sickness, something creating in your mind, and it's very hard to come out of it, you know. And then luckily, I went to psychotherapy, and we were talking a lot. We're talking about my dreams, which helped me a lot. And there was one dream where I had to choose between jumping in 2 pools. One has a clear water, and I could see the bottom of the pool, and the other one had a very dirty water where I couldn't see where it goes. And the question was, where do you want to jump? For me, it was clear that the clear water is the same situation, and that the dirty water, maybe something is showing up. And actually, I jumped into this dirty water in the dream, and a complete new life appeared. And then I went to an astrologer, and the astrologer told me, you know, you should do either yoga or you should do some Tai Chi or something like this, because something to calm down. I was very shaky and very high emotions. And I thought Tai Chi is a little bit, I'm a little bit slow for me. I don't know what I think about it. Maybe I should do some yoga. It's a little bit more gymnastic, and I like it more. But for me, yoga was, I didn't know much about yoga. You know, there was always a speech, yoga is like yogurt. This was the situation for me. Or for me, was yoga is like lying on a bed of nails, something like this.
Yeah.
So then I was looking into the telephone book, and I found a yoga studio, which was the yoga studio in Vienna, the Sivananda Yoga studio. And there I started with 2 courses, first beginner, second beginner course, and then also a 3rd course and a meditation course. And then I thought, now I'm ready for the teacher trainings course. But you know, I was very stiff because I was doing all the sports, and muscles were very short. And I could not sit properly, and it was so hard for me to sit hours and hours on the floor. And my knees started to pain and everything like this. You know, I really had a hard time with it. But I was so much touched from all this information and the yoga. I had many dreams also during the course that I wanted to become a Swami and trust in Orange. And I had the vision of Krishna. He was telling me something. And finally, I decided to stay in this organization, leave my old work. And actually, it helped me a lot to come out of my situation behaviors. I was also drinking alcohol, I was smoking, and so on and so on, which I stopped completely, also at the beginning with yoga. And my lung completely recovered, and I felt that I could really breathe properly again after a few months already, where, as people say, it takes about 10 years that a smoker becomes a healthy lung again. But I think through sport, yoga, breathing exercise, it went much faster. And yeah, then I was I was teaching a lot in the teacher training courses, and I was doing a lot of organization things. I was helping them to do a lot of things. But finally, I became a Swami, a monk, for almost 8 years.
How many years was you in the organization before you became a Swami?
16 years in the organization.
No, but before taking your vows to become a monk.
Well, 9 years.
9 years, yeah. Cool.
9 years before coming a monk. So I was 1 year. I was first a student, and then another 4 years I was staff. And then there comes a situation where you become a brahmacharya, which is yellow dress, which is a preparation for becoming a Swami. This is actually a test if you're ready or not, also for yourself. Finally, I became a Swami. But then I found out that at the end, maybe last 1.5, 2 years, that I would like to have a relationship with him. Really want to share yoga with someone who's also interested in it. And you know, as a Swami, you're not allowed to have a relationship. And actually, I was searching for someone, and I had some relationships actually at the end, and I was always falling in love, and found out this is not the right one, the proper one. But finally, I found my love, Amira. She's now with me, and she's gorgeous, and she has the same interest, and we are very like a strong couple and have the same interest, and we build up now what we are doing. It's called yogameetsyou.com, so you can also look at our website. And mostly we are organizing yoga retreats. And this was actually my wish, to be more closer together with people, because in the organization you're separate. You know, there are the staff and even the monks, and then there are the students, and everything is separated. There's not much mixed up together, just a little bit talk or so. But here we sit with people together, we eat with them, we just have small talk also, and we have sincere talks. And this is actually very, I was looking for, and this is much better. And finally now, I found out in this organization that there are a lot of reshaping things are happening. There's also invention going on about the founders from the Keshavananda. There's also Prahlad, which is one of the EBM. And there was a former Swami Mahadevananda, which also was EBM. And there are some women and also child. They say that they were abused from them, and there's a lot of scandal going on now. So I'm very much separated from this organization, and I think it's very true. This organization were trying to hide this thing for many, many years. Actually, I know that there was 2007, there was a council going on. They were thinking about, should we go and tell people, or should we hide it in order to save the organization, and that they decided to hide it. And now, because now it's a Shiva energy, this organization now, everything comes out now, and people want to know about what was really happening. And there's one Facebook page, is called Satya. You can look at it, and there are many reports, and there are interviews for over 30 people who are abused or who have some information within the organization, and this should come soon out. Actually, Sivananda also did some investigation, but they stopped it now because they say officially it's because they have no money because of the corona. But I think they have a lot of hiding, and actually, I'm very sad about this, because they could really do good things now. They could really go out and tell the truth, but they try to hide, and I think this organization will suffer a lot from this.
Yeah, and how do you feel about do you think that they could have dealt with it in a much different way? Like, I personally would have much rather if they would have been honest and would have actually just said, this is what happened. We tried to bury it in 2007, but we tried to protect the organization, we tried to protect the students. Again, it's come out to light. We want to be honest with everyone, and this is what happened. And personally, I would have much preferred the route of Satya, and like this, this charity is trying to do, because it was such a hurtful moment for me. And I can't imagine some of the thoughts that occurred in your mind when maybe you heard about Swami Keshavananda, or whether maybe you heard about it before, I'm not sure. But for me, it was kind of a moment of very deep reflection, and a lot of change happened for me in that moment back in December when I saw the post from Julie Slater, because I was so devoted towards what you guys have given me, and I think there's a lot of good people in the organization, and there's a lot of great teaching there, but it almost swept my faith from underneath me quite heavily initially. I feel like I've slowly regained some of that now, but it was quite a painful moment when I first found out, because I had this attachment, I think, to the organization, which I'm not saying is right, but it was difficult.
Yeah, this is because it happens, because the whole organization is built up on one man's teaching, which is Swami Keshavananda. It's like a museum. You're going to have a museum also in Canada. There's this aeroplane also, and everything is about Swami Keshavananda. There's hanging a picture everywhere. Of course, Swami Keshavananda is also there, but he's not so much mentioned at all, actually. Just the books, but mainly teaching of Swami Keshavananda. He is the one we have to listen. He's the one who knows the teaching, and so on and so on. Now it's becoming shaky, because the one who is built up on the throne is the one who's like a king within this organization. Now did something which are not very pleasant. for the organization. So what else do they have? They don't have much anymore because they have to rely on it. The whole teaching is built up on it. If he's not there anymore, what is there? Not much. There's just the yoga. And yoga is something within. So like you or others also, they found out now that there's much more within. That's not, yoga is not traditional. Yoga is not a guru, following a guru. So your yoga is something which you find within you. And this is the main thing, that you find your yoga within. Actually, I was not much surprised because I had heard some rumor before already from some friends also. And I heard the rumor also within the organization. I knew about some things new for me, but even then I was not very much surprised because I know that there is a lot of misbehaving going on, and actually this organization is not living the truth. And truth always wins, you know, wherever there's lies, somehow it comes up and the truth will show up.
No, for me it's been, and I'm sure for many other people, it's been a real again, same as Corona, it's been a massive positive, because like you said, I've seen a completely different element to what yoga is. And it's been so enlightening in that sense.
Absolutely.
It's taken me a little bit of time to get my head around it, but I've been so much more open. I've been much more open to different practices and different perspectives. Yes. And that's really allowed me to explore my own personal practice and my teaching. And it's given me a broad horizon with my teaching. Before it was...
You know, the behavior they have is like the Christian church. It's the same. You know, there were also abuses within the church, and they don't work it out properly as well. So they're doing the same thing, the same mistake. And they only have this vision, they only have this teaching, but there's so much more, as you say. And also for me, leaving this organization was the best for me I could do. First of all, I'm not in this story, which happened now at all. And secondly, I'm free, I'm independent, and I can look into more other things. I have found out so many other things I haven't seen before, because there was only, you have to listen to this, you have to listen to this teaching, and that's it, you know? Which is like very dogmatic. But there's much more, and we are free to choose, and I'm very happy because I think I'm on a path now to experience much more. Like, for example, Nunchakon, you can see this sign behind me, and also this how do you say this, papers, this diplomas, and we did some Nunchakon course, which is going back into ancestral life and clearing bad karmas from ancestral influences, because we are influenced by our relatives 7 generations back, even generations in front. And if we work it out, we can clear bad karma, so we have a much easier life.
Yeah, and
because we carry all this karma with us. So,
do they say that we can clear karma in front of us as well? Then, did you say?
Yes.
Okay, nice. So I know that obviously we have this karma that is coming. So 7 years of karma in front of us that we can clear.
7 generations.
7 generations. Wow. 7 generations. Sorry, generations, of course.
7 generations back and 7 generations in front. So what we can do to work in this, but also, of course, to work in real yoga or doing meditation or asanas, whatever, we can help our whole family to clear a bad karma. So, for example, if you have a bad karma for not getting too much money, always struggling with money, then you can clear this through this technique. So the technique is like this: there's the trainer and the student, and you just ask all the angels, the archangels, and the gurus to have support, and then you bring the student in a kind of a neutral state. You know, you can experience the same, like in final relaxation, almost the same state. They can sit or they can lie, and then you just douse. You know, you can do it with dousing. This is a no, or this is a yes, this is a no. Yes, no, or even here. This is a yes, this is a no. Can you see the difference? Or even with the arm. Yes, no. So do you doubt which generation has a strong impact or influence on your situation, or on your fear, or on your situation, whatever. And then you find out, okay, it's the fifth generation on grandfather's side, and it's the grandfather. And then you tell, okay, now we ask the grandfather to help us, and you visualize the situation, what grandfather was going through. And these people, they can see very clearly what was happening, what situation was there, because of this influence. And then you can clear, you can tell, okay, now give them a new picture, new outcome, new story, and clear the bad situation or the karma and change it into a positive, into a light. And then you ask for support from the angels, from nature, from the forest, from the mountains, and just imprint it. And then you can ask the next, is there another influence? Is there another generation? And so on, until you find out there's no generation anymore for this topic. And then you can conclude it, and actually there's this very strong shift happening with these people. All of a sudden, many things are coming, and there's a whole change. And you even can do it with your own past life. You can do it with others' past lives, and so on and so on. So one can do a lot of things through these techniques. And we are starting now and are really going more into it. And I found it tremendous. And actually, I had the feeling that doing yoga is nice, but it's like, you know, like in a small step. And this technique, they have very big steps. It's really something going more through. But I'm just now ready for it. I was not ready before, so this is why it came now. And I like it because, you know, always things comes whenever you are ready.
Yeah. And where can people find this anywhere? Information about this anywhere? Do you have any advice? Are you teaching it at all, or are you leading this? Has the certificate allowed you to guide people into regressing and healing?
Well, the training itself is done by Dr. Lim. Dr. Lim is origin from China. He lives in Malaysia, and he comes very often to Europe and teaching courses. So he comes to Austria, Switzerland, and he's teaching courses there. And teaching not only these techniques, he's also teaching Feng Shui, he's teaching the Nutricon, he's teaching Geomancy, and so on and so on, so many things. But I came through this teaching through Stephen Kong. Stephen Kong is from California, and he's actually a Vedic astrologer. This is what he studied very deeply. But he also teaches many different other techniques. And he's like a kind of a mentor to me, because he's given me so much input, and we are very strong friends together. We also do traveling together. We recently were in South India, had a beautiful time there.
I saw the pictures actually, yeah.
Yeah, it was very lovely and a beautiful time. It was really from a completely different perspective. And last November, we went to Visoko, which is in south of Croatia, and we visited their pyramids. So they are hidden pyramids. They are 5,000 years old, or even older. And they say they're even older than the Egypt pyramids. And they're very strong. And we went in there, and there are tunnels, you can meditate there. And we went on top of the pyramids. There are very strong boosts going on. So we do some things, and it's very interesting to find out about energy, you know, because you can feel energy, you can measure energy, And as soon as you know how to deal with energy, you can do things which boost the energy even more. For example, one tool I wanted to show also, it's created by Dr. Lim, called the Harmony card. This one, and it has a very strong energy. Actually, you can wear it on your chest, or you can have it in your pocket, or you can just take a glass and put it on top, and the glass will be energized. You know the story about the Japanese scientist Masaru Emoto,
yeah,
who changed bad quality water into good quality waters through messages. And it's written here as harmony, for example. And then it becomes a better crystal, becomes a much better quality. You can energize food. And you can also, if you have headache, you just put it on your head, and the headache is gone. So these are things which I'm looking for now, and it's very strong. And you can also find it on my website. So
on your website, yeah.
Yeah, and also I will put also another page on NutriCom. Actually, I want to try now out if NutriCom also works online.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Will it work online?
Yeah, because then it would be very, very special. So if you like, we can try it once.
Yeah, we can do that for sure.
Yeah, of course, one has to be open to do it, but it helps a lot. And I felt, when I did it, I was always struggling with money. So, I mean, money was there, but not much, I more or less survived. But when I did this NutriCom and when I did all this clearing, all of a sudden money came. It came like from every side. It was amazing.
Yeah, brilliant. The universe supplies, doesn't it, when you need it to?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
How do you feel about this thought? I had a thought this week. Well, actually, it's been on my mind for a long time, ever since Corona happened. How do you feel about this? From a Vedic perspective, anyway. We have the different ages. We have the yugas, and we said to have been in Kali Yuga, right? And maybe transitioning. Are we at the end of Kali Yuga? They say. How do you feel about everything that is happening in the world right now? And we could look at in particular, yoga world, like with what happened with Swami Devananda, what happened with some other yoga gurus out there recently as well, being exposed for similar activities as Swami Devananda. And now coronavirus, another big thing where people have been very much that people have been able to have this time of introspection almost and self-reflection, because this is happening a lot in the world right now. People are rethinking, am I really doing the right thing? They've been somewhat kissed by death potentially, because they've realized that we're not immortal in this physical body. So how do you feel this relates to kind of the Vedic view on how we are transitioning through the ages? Do you think it could relate to that, and that this is quite, like you said, a Shiva time, and that we are experiencing a big transformation at the moment, and coronavirus could be one of those biggest global things that is to change the vibration and to allow people to see a little bit clearer what life is and existence is?
Explaining what is Kali Yoga. So there are different paths. There's the golden age, the silver age, and the bronze age, and now we're in the iron age. It's called Kali Yoga. Kali Yoga is now about how old is it? 5,000 years. 5,000 years we're in the Kali Yoga, but it's supposed that Kali Yoga is even longer. I don't have the number in mind now, but it's about 350,000 years or something like this, or 450,000 years. So it's a little bit longer than just going to the end. But within this Kali Yoga, there's also ups and downs. So there's a time within the Kali Yoga, which is the golden time or an iron time. Iron time means there's a lot of heavy energy and materialism and wars like this. So of course there's a change, and there's a shift now happening, and truth comes out, and there's many more hidden things will come out in future for sure. So there are a lot of scandals going on all around the world, not just with these abuse things like Swami Keshavananda or other gurus. But there's some clearing going on. You know, I told you it's Shiva energy. There's a clearing that all bad energy can go into you. Fresh energy, pure energy can grow up. And everything is connected together. So this is just the time. Maybe it's some planets which are in this position, or maybe there's a plan already from the universe that is happening right now. Of course, everything is happening, but there's also going a lot of rumor that there are several families, like I forgot now. They are doing very bad things to the world, and that there is also happening clearings now. Many bad things happening in the background, and that are cleared now, and we can relax because there's a great future coming, and everything will be much easier for us. And we are much more. We can listen much more on our heart. We can listen much more on what we really feel within.
Yeah. Well, I think the point I'm trying to maybe almost emphasize is that, you know, this isn't a time where we need to be worrying too much. You know, there is a nice light coming, I feel, you know, with everything that is happening with Corona.
Absolutely. There's a beautiful light coming. There's a glorious future coming, that's for sure, for all of us, or for those who want to join it. Let's say, if you're negative against it, of course, this energy can't happen at all. You have to really be open for the change and be open that there is something new coming which will help you, and then everything will happen by itself. You just have to do your practice, your yoga practice, do the meditation, do your pranayama, do some neck exercises, build up your immune system, eat properly, eat healthy, and then everything will be fine.
Yeah. Keshava, it almost feels intimidating, the amount of questions I could ask you, because I'm sure lots of people would be grateful for the time to sit with you and ask you things, but I don't want to ask things for the sake of it. But one question I have, and I hope you don't mind me asking, it's more of a personal question really, is how does it differ for you being now able to live a little bit more freely, and, you know, so much is available in the world, you know, as you said, different trainings, different places to see, and now not being so committed to, you know, now not being committed at all, to be associated with the Sivananda organization, which you spent so much time in. How does that feel for within you? I know, you know, I know how it felt for me when I left as staff, and I was there a very short period of time compared to you. Like, how does that feel? Quite in some way liberating, because you was ready to leave and you felt like, okay, there's so much here in the world?
Well, first of all, it was very hard for me to leave this organization, to live this, I would say, very comfortable life, because, you know, you have everything. You don't have to care for anything. Everything is there. There's food there. There's protection there. There's believing there. There's guidance there. Actually, you don't have to think a lot. You know, you are in a situation where everything is ready made for you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like living at home in mother's home, and she's taking care of you, more or less. So it's a very comfortable life, actually. There.
It is. It's a very easy life.
Yeah,
I think about it a lot. It's an easy life.
Yes, very easy. And they don't know how easy and how comfortable they have it. I mean, people sometimes go and they're surprised how difficult it is outside. And other people, they go back again because they think, oh, it's very comfortable lifestyle. Secondly, it's also very emotionally, you're very connected with this deeply with the organization. So, but I had so many signs, and especially one sign was for me. I had, when I was 13 years old, I had a bicycle accident, and I was falling on my shoulder and on my head on the side, and something happened in the neck, in the spine. Some disc slipped, but over many years I didn't recognize it. Just had a little bit neck pain sometimes and headache, but I didn't realize that something serious could happen there. And all of a sudden, the year, let me think, before, or 1.5 years before I left, I had a slipping disc going into my nerve. Actually, no, it was 7, 8 months before, and then I was very hard. You know, I had paralyzed arm, and I thought that yoga, how can it work? How can it be like this? But you know, they say because it's from before, and the disc slipped, and it's also fixed into the bone, so you cannot change it. You have to do an operation. So I did the operation. It took me 3 months from this operation, which was very serious, because the nerve still was contracted and the pain was still there, and I lost almost 10 or 15 kilos. So I was very slim and very weak, and I had a lot of time for thinking about it. What does it say? What does it really want? And I felt more and more that I have to leave and that I have to go. Then I decided to really go. So then, of course, I didn't have any money. There was no support at all from the organization. I didn't get any money from them. I even didn't have any insurance. I was asking if they can keep up the insurance for another few months. They denied, and they said, no, you decided to go. It's your choice. And all of a sudden, many things came. You know, I was so much supported by, I would say, by angels, maybe some archangels, and there were so many things coming, and we got support from Samir's mother. We can live now in a beautiful house. We got support from here and there. So many things are happening, and I must say I'm very lucky in a lucky situation that things were happening, that the support was there, and I felt very much guided from the universe. And then whenever you want to have a change, make sure, think about the positive things, and then something will come up and will support you. You will be carried by the energy, because those people who have done so much positive things to the humanity and good deeds to the humanity, they always will be supported. And this is karma. You know, if you do a good karma, karma will come back and support you again. And I had the feeling that this was the situation. Of course, they tried to complain on me, and then they did some postings. I left, and this is not the teaching of the organization, what I'm doing. So they really tried to make me a hard time also, but I always had the feeling, you know, we get the karma also back. So now they have probably their karma going back to them.
Yeah, for sure. No, nice. And what about the future for you? Like, have you thought about maybe, you know, continuing to teach teachers at some point? Is that something that you'd like to do, or you're quite happy with the connection with just the students and carrying forward the retreats?
No, I'm not very much want to go into teaching teachers, because there are so many teacher trainings all around, you know. Even yoga retreats, you know, if you look into the pages, like those who promote yoga retreats, you can find 5,000, 6,000 yoga retreats running at the moment now, or running in the next years. I mean, we are in a lucky situation that we teach the original yoga. Not many are teaching the original yoga in this yoga retreat. People who are seeking for a proper teaching, or for real teaching, or for authentic teaching, they will find us, and they are happy to be with us. I mean, this is our income. You know, at the moment we don't have any income because no yoga retreats. We had to cancel over 15 yoga retreats, which is about 200 students coming into our retreats, and this is a lot of money. So we get a little bit coffee money from the online classes and a little bit money from the government here. But anyway, we are not starving, and we have our food, and everything is fine. We are lucky and we are positive. We are continuing to teach this yoga retreats for sure, because this is our income, this is our money. But I want to go also more to one-to-one healing sessions like Nurture. I'm learning now also to heal with hands and to do more healing work, because this is the thing I always wanted to do, but I was not ready for it. So now I think I'm ready for it. All the things can come. And I hope that I can do online healing also.
Yeah.
Actually, I tried to do online healing. After the operation, I still had very strong neck problems, and always had headache. And I was asking Stephen what to do, and he said you can do a distance healing also. And I was then doing a distance healing with Dr. Lim. And it sounds a little bit strange. He said, you know, I had several arrows and spears into my body, and he was removing them. And also in one former life, they chopped off my head. So this was creating my headache also, a neck problem. And he cleared it. And I really must say I was not very open for it. I was a little bit, maybe it works or not. But it disappeared. My neck problem is back. My headache is back. Is away. It's gone. So I was really surprised. It works. So this gave me a lot of support and a lot of proof that all things are working. That I really want to learn more about this and want to really help people in getting rid of their problems.
Yeah, and that
sincere problems.
Yeah.
Because yoga help a little bit, and people have to do it that it works. But here's something you can work on it.
Yeah, and that also starts with someone being open to it and wanting to change, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keshava, it's been very wonderful for you to come on. Maybe we could just finish with you just giving, if you have one point of how people can progress now through coronavirus, what they can do other than the things you've showed us, maybe something that they could do on a daily basis as an affirmation to, create a bit more of a positive life going forward after Corona and during Corona, because a lot of people are suffering. There are people who are much less fortunate than us. I've been very blessed, as you say, similar to you, with lots of support from my students and the people around me, and similar. I've had a very low income at the moment, but I always trust that God and the universe is going to help us and guide us in the right direction. But that is not always easy to express to people. So is there any last minute advice you could give to people on keeping that light there and moving forward?
Yeah, first of all, I would say don't watch too much news, and don't watch too much all these messages coming over Facebook or wherever, all this news, because there's so many trash coming in, and the influence of the news has a very strong negative influence. I feel when I look at the news in the evening, I feel like drawn down completely and cannot sleep properly anymore. There's so much scandal messages coming through that, and it's not worth to look at it. You can be informed if you just, okay, what's going on, what are the new situations, but if you look hours and hours and spend in front of the television and look all these messages from people, first of all, don't believe everything, because there's so much wrong information also, and so much trying to influence us into a certain way. I don't trust all this coronavirus at all, and I think there's something behind which is hidden, which will come out sooner or later. and that's something that's going on. But I have to accept it. I cannot do my yoga classes here. I cannot do the retreat. So I just found out what can I do alternatively. The online classes is one example. But mostly I'm very grateful because I have so much time for doing my own sadhana. I can get up in the morning, can do meditation, and have a lot of time spending for sadhana. Actually, I wanted to read books, but I don't have the time because I'm always doing something to positive. We're going out in nature. We're doing walking a lot. We go on the mountains. We're doing cycling. So this is something I found out now, which helps us much more to be connected with nature than instead of listening all this news. And just be positive, you know, because everything is happening for the best, and something will come out, and everything will be a glorious future for you.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's important. I think it's important not to be attached to the news and to what we're being told, because, you know, who knows? It's really not very clear. The evidence certainly doesn't support what is going on a medical level, but you know, we can't do anything. We can't be attached to either point of view either, can we? Because we must sit back. I believe we must sit back and we must watch the show go on. And if we need to support in any way we can, but I think it's important just to keep living and keep connected.
Yes. Yeah, if you're not able to do your own yoga or meditation alone, then just go to online courses. Just watch online courses. This helps a lot, actually. We also have once a week or twice a week, we are also watching online courses on meditation, which we find out is very nice, and it's soothing. We also teach meditation on Saturday morning. It's all in German, unfortunately.
Oh, I see.
And we teach a yoga class on Sunday, 6 p.m. So you're very much invited. I send you a free link. They can join us. And those who want to come, join us for the evening class Sunday, 6 p.m. in English. And I think this is more worth to it than just watch news or negative films. You know, someone was recommending us a film on a virus, which was recorded 10 years back. So we were watching the film. In the middle of the film, we stopped because we thought it's drawing us so much down, and it's like the same situation we have now is moving even more worse. So this is not very good. Just watch positive movies, positive books, read positive books, and positive news, everything which is positive. And then you create other positive in your mind. Everything else draws your mind down into negativity and then maybe into depression, and this is not worth at all.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Keshava. I hope maybe we can do this again one day. It's been fantastic to have you on. And maybe I'll be there in one of your retreats one day.
Sorry, again?
Maybe I'll come to one of your retreats one day. I'll have to look when everything is back and running. Then, I'd love to. I'd love to. It'd be brilliant.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, we have actually planned in 1 week going to Turkey with our retreat for a 1 week yoga retreat. We are in a beautiful place with a villa and a swimming pool and the first row view to the ocean. And we had cooked by ourselves, but finally this couldn't happen, so we have to postpone it to next year or maybe later on this year. This would be a very beautiful place for you, because then 7 days sadhana and 2 classes a day, healthy yogic food, on a beautiful place. But anyway, we have more yoga retreats, and you're always welcome to join us.
Thank you.
And everyone is welcome to join us. Just again,
remind me of the web address for your website address.
yogameetsyou.com.
Perfect.
yogameetsyou.com. So there are also many information around yoga, about the asanas, pranayama, and so on. it's written in German. It's automatically translated by Google Translate. So that English translation is not very properly. Like my English now is not so properly. Sorry about this, but I try my best, and Google Translator probably also tries the best. At least you can get out yes.
Yeah, no, perfect. No, your English is fine, Keshava. Absolutely fine.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and yeah.
Let us finish with the Om Chambakam.
Please.
Om Triambakam
Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivarnam
Varvarakamavakandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivarnam Varvarakamavakandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Varvarakamavakandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyamamritat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was lovely to talk to you. I hope you are happy.
I'm very happy.
Good.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. I've got a very fortunate